Alrighty, here we go. 16 times now. 16. Episode 16. Welcome to it. The Bullpen Podcast back once again. I didn't really have a plan. I don't really have much of a plan for this episode, honestly. We got a month left in the season. I know that. There's a month left in the season starting today. September 1st to October 1st is, I believe, all we've got. So, yeah, 1 month left. So I figured I would just kind of hit a few bullet points of takeaways that I have from this year so far, and just kind of try to rapid fire, do it pretty succinctly and quickly. So I'll start with the gambling side because I got fucked there today. So not too many games today. I had a 3-game parlay. I've been on a bad streak with betting. I've been on a cold streak. I've barely even been doing it. That's how cold it is. On a whim today, I thought, there's barely any games. It'd be cool to hit a three-game parlay. I go Yankees, Braves, Giants. Yankees played at noon today. They lost. I had tuned in just in time to see the replay of Anthony Volpe hitting a home run to right field in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs to tie the game. The Yankees were down 3-0 right before I turned it on, and Anthony Volpe tied it up and sent the game to extra innings. So I'm like, holy shit. Imagine if I get to see the Yankees win this after I just turned this on. Yeah, kickstart the parlay. No, absolutely not, no. I think it was like the 10th inning they were trying to turn to, and Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, airmailed the fucking ball past the first baseman, and then the winning run scored. So you won this round, Detroit. Good on you. As of right now, the Braves and Giants are winning. So, yep, I was possibly one throw away from breaking my cold streak. But what are you gonna do? I'll just give it another couple weeks before I get out there. About a month ago, I did place a couple futures bets that I feel pretty good about still, and I'll tell you why. So I have a 4-team parlay of division winners. All of these teams are currently winning the division, so if nothing changes for this next month, then I'll win this bet. So I've got the Orioles, Twins, Brewers, and Dodgers. All those teams are in first place currently. The Orioles are my favorite out of all those teams. Nobody expected the Orioles to be this good this year. They've got a lot of young, exciting players. They've got a closer, Felix Bautista, who unfortunately just got hurt, was having one of the best seasons for a closing pitcher ever. He just looks absolutely unhittable out there. Watching him pitch is incredible. He's crazy good. I saw today that he averaged 16 strikeouts over 9 innings. So to put that in perspective, if he pitched 9 innings every single game that he went out there, he would get at least 16 strikeouts every one of those games. So, and he's a closer, so he just has to go out there and get 3 outs most of the time, and he's pretty much striking everybody out. So he's been insane to watch this year. Unfortunately, he just got hurt, and I think he's out for the rest of the year. So he really laid it all out there. I mean, Jesus Christ, hell of a season. The other bet I had is if I had to lock in a World Series pick right now, I mean, the Braves are fucking unstoppable. The Braves have a stacked lineup. Everybody can hit. Spencer Strider leads the league in strikeouts. He's crazy good. Matt Olson's having a great year, leading in RBIs and second in home runs to Shohei, actually. Matt Olson has 43 home runs. Shohei's got 44 right now. Shohei's having a hell of a year. He hurt his elbow as well. It's been a tough year for injuries. Very tough year. But I would lock in Atlanta in the World Series right now because they look untouchable. I'm watching the game right now. They pieced up Lance Lynn for 7 runs. Yeah, 7 runs. Crazy. And my other pick would be the Texas Rangers. I think the Texas Rangers are good. They've got some good pitchers. Their lineup's good. There's been times this year where they've looked just as unstoppable as the Braves. I believe that they'll do well in the playoffs. So if I had to lock in a World Series pick, I'd take Texas and Atlanta right now. That's my one other futures bet. We'll see how it goes. It'll be fun to see how that one plays out. I feel good about the Division One. Knock on wood. We'll see if it holds out for the next month. There's been some surprise good teams this year, including the Reds and Cubs, unfortunately, in the National League Central. They've been able to benefit from the Cardinals sucking ass this year. The Brewers are still leading the division, but I think the Cubs are in a wild card spot right now, and there was a time earlier this year, I definitely bitched about it in an episode, where there was a time earlier this year where the Reds were having way more fun than the Cardinals, and it turns out that time just lasted all the way up until right now, because the Cardinals haven't had a lot of fun this season, and the Reds are a lot better this year. Those are just the facts. Unfortunate, but true. The Cardinals are also a part of a special group of teams with high expectations and abysmal results. That's including the Mets and Padres, who have both spent a lot of money on their free agents and contracts and such, and they have not had great years. The Yankees have not spent a bunch of money on anybody besides Aaron Judge, and they've had a very bad year. All of those teams were expected to be really good, and this year, that just didn't happen. So, I bitch a lot about the Cardinals, but we're not the only ones going through it. It still sucks, though. It still fucking sucks. Make no mistake about that. I made my last move in my fantasy league, by the way. We have 50 transactions for the whole year, and I was sitting at 49 for a long time. And today I was sitting there and I finally pulled the trigger. I had to drop a pitcher who wasn't really doing anything for me anymore. And I picked up Jason Dominguez, who is a top prospect for the Yankees. So hopefully he catches fire and brings my team all the way up to second place in a month. Because it's all up to who I have now. Because the guys I got, that's who I got. That's who's going to have to do it. I'm still sitting in 6th place. I jumped up to 5th a little bit, but I'm back down to 6th, sure enough. So, one more month of fantasy baseball, unfortunately, before next year. But even though my season has changed drastically in the last couple months, fantasy baseball has been good to me this year. It's been fun. As always, I love fucking doing it. Like I said earlier, Shohei's had a great year. He's got 44 home runs. Ronald Acuna has also had a great year. I saw as of today, he's the first player in Major League history to have a 30 home run, 60 stolen base season, which is fucking crazy. So that's some pretty cool baseball history that happened literally today, on August 31st. I'm recording the night before, by the way. So, real prepared, real good. Esteury Ruiz, who I'm not sure if I've talked about him at all this year, but he's a rookie outfielder for the A's, and he's fast as shit. Let me see how many stolen bases he has. He's second in Major League Baseball in stolen bases with 53, and he's leading the American League in stolen bases. So 53 stolen bases for him. Hell of a rookie year. That's pretty cool. I've also noticed this year that if you want to be a good team, you need to have a really good pitcher for the 9th inning. Just about every good team has a pitcher coming out of the bullpen that makes other teams say, oh shit. And I know the Cardinals don't really have a guy like that, but having a guy like that is crucial to your team. And I'll list off a few closers right here who have had good years. So we got Emmanuel Clase, leads the league in saves at 36 for Cleveland. He's had a great year, as well as Camilo Doval for San Francisco, Alexis Diaz for the Reds. Again, the Reds, they've had a good year without Alexis Diaz finishing off games in the ninth. Where would they be? Who knows? Same with the Orioles. Felix Bautista, already talked about him. He's got 33 saves. Insane year. Incredible year for him. Brewers have been pretty much on top of the Central for most of the year. They've got a great closer in Devin Williams. And for the Blue Jays, they've got Jordan Romano, who's had a great year as well. So that's what, six guys? Those are some of the best pitchers in all of baseball right there, and that's not even all of them. Josh Hader's been good. But imagine being a badass coming out of the bullpen to get the last 3 outs of a baseball game and you can throw like 100 miles an hour. Imagine being a human who can do that. Isn't that fucking cool? I think those closers are so badass to me because they have the ability to just go out there and do that. And, you know, every badass closer entrance is so deserved. Just look up badass closer entrances on YouTube. That's what I'm going to send you off with. Just look up badass closer entrances on YouTube. This was a fun one. Pretty free of structure. I don't know if you could tell or not, but, you know, as always, I had fun. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. And as always, for the third time, thank you so much for listening. It's been fun. One more month of the season. Again, it's crazy. It's wrapping up. This show will keep going after the baseball season, by the way. So I'll be able to find plenty of shit to talk about. It'll just be a little different. I have to get a little more creative. Who knows? But the show will continue in the off season, by the way. Alrighty. I'll be back next Friday. Same old shit. Thanks again for listening.